That game right there was absolute dross. Yeah. I've seen a better football match watching under 15s, honestly, on a Sunday when it's flipping raining and muddy. But I'm going to say it. George Graham would be proud of that result. He was actually in the stands watching that. And you know what? People clocked on as well. Like, he's doing that little, he's probably falling asleep. He's just doing a little, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just thinking here right now, yeah. The same way we praise Liverpool this season for not getting out of gear, I feel the same way with Arsenal. And it doesn't mean they played good. I mean, Arsenal didn't even need to play well to win that game. And nobody can tell me different when Chelsea had one shot on target all game. It could have went in, to be fair, if it wasn't for Raya being a bozo. But at the same time, that's what it was. Like, I'm not here gonna glaze the rest of the crew, all of them, but I feel like there's a few Chelsea players that could leave with their heads held high. I feel with Arsenal, I feel like they didn't even need to try. Gabriel, easy. Fofana shouldn't have even been on the damn pitch. How many fouls did this guy commit? 6, 7 did I count? Crazy. Partey, Chelsea fans are gonna rebuttal, and I'm like, for what? Guy made like 2 fouls the whole game. To be honest, doesn't mean it's a sending off. But it's not the point, regardless. It's just I just didn't feel Arsenal needed to do much. I don't feel like they even ran that much. I feel like Arsenal literally were in training. Chelsea had nothing going forward for them. Sancho, abysmal. Neto can leave with his head held high, in my opinion. Kukurea and Reece James are the other two for me. The rest of them, even Sanchez, to be fair, because he made a couple vital saves, from Marino and so. So yeah, you know what? Fair play on that. But on that part, that might have been one of the worst Chelsea versus Arsenal games I've ever seen in my entire career. For a mutual viewership, it was crap. For an Arsenal viewership, you don't care. You just got the win. You've got through. You got Saka coming back. I thought Martinelli was definitely a bright spark. I quite liked, his intent at least. Everything else beyond that, the execution was not there. There was even a point where I thought, he went to smack it instead of cutting it back. That's what you get with this guy. Lewis Skelly as well. When you watch this guy, like, don't get me wrong. This is me nitpicking right now, and this is me being open and honest about that. When I saw Lewis Skelly play, and it was actually quite a decent battle with Neto, not Sancho, with Neto, I just thought, you know what? This kid is just it. You watch him play, the way he picks pockets, the way he passes as well. He's very intelligent for his age. And he is the clear guy to pick over someone like Calafiori in the future. I just think he's night and day better than him. He elevates everything beyond whether you want to see him in centre mid in the future. I don't know. It's not my point, but I can't really give anyone man of the match. Probably Marino because he got the only goal. Erdegaard, can't really say much. Timber, I thought was decent as well, done his job. Everyone else really done their jobs. Raya didn't even have to do anything in the game. He don't care. But it's 3 points, isn't it? Getting away from that top 4 battle. I think Arsenal. I think this game kind of solidifies their spot. There's not really much of a conversation to even have anymore. Like, I know Nottingham Forest got their 3 points. They absolutely battered Ipswich. And whatnot. And I know they got United next, so but it's kind of like dragging away, probably like the perfect weekend at the moment for Arsenal, for Nottingham Forest as well. Like I looked at the table and it's like, I think it's down now to 12 points between obviously the leaders, Arsenal, and then there's another few points in between there. But obviously Man City dropped points, Newcastle yet to play, Aston Villa just not up to scratch. And this is just the reality of the Prem. It's been quite poor quality in terms of the bigger sides this year. But if you're going off of the match, right, I don't even know what else to really say, but you got your 3 points and that's all that matters. And you won your London derby. And really and truly, when it comes to the derbies, right, I just feel like it doesn't really matter what football you play. As long as you come out with the 3 points, I think that's all that matters. You get your bragging rights. You go to work the next day. You go talk to your friends. You laugh at them and so forth. Let's be real. If you're a Chelsea fan watching this, I don't feel like any of you expected to win, even if Palmer was there or not. But let's not use the Palmer debate because I don't think that really changes much in the match, in my opinion. Because it's just, again, Arsenal didn't even need to get a gear 1/2. This is Maresca ball. Maresca, all that possession for nothing. I saw a stat in the first half where it was like 90 something odd possession compared to like Arsenal's like 3 or 4% or some crap. Doesn't matter. Louis Van Gaal used to do the same thing back in the day. You're still not scoring. Where's the intent? But this is a reality of not having a striker at the club for both teams, to be fair. If you want to go like that, let's have a fair, honest assessment. But if Arsenal had a proper striker, let alone a Bukayo Saka on the side, I reckon they come out that game 3-0. That's the honest truth. You know, even if Chelsea had everyone available, the only positive for Chelsea is Lavia's back. You know, Fofana's getting more fit. There you go. I think Maresca, his in-game management was absolutely shocking. It's like as soon as he brought on Gusto, Lavia, it was a little bit more intent. Dewsbury Hall, like, why leave the substitution so late? Whether Cole Palmer's got this injury or not, it's like you didn't need to play him against Leicester. You didn't need to play him against Copenhagen. So this whole thing he's getting rested potentially is all bullshit in my eyes. You know, Lego had just done what he always does. And the fact is, Arsenal fans are going to laugh because the way they won the game was through a set piece, something that, you know, a lot of fans despise. They call it Stoke City FC. I'll call it back to the dark arts potentially. It was actually a very good looping headed goal. I don't know who you lot thought that really stood out, right? But there was no one that really stood out. I thought Lewis Skelly's the better one to kind of, you know, look at and think, you know what, you had a good game compared to everyone else on the pitch. You had a decent game. Trossard, you know, back not really doing much, in my opinion. Marino could have got a couple goals. It's not your fault. You're not a striker, and even other bits and bobs. I thought Rice was quite mint, to be fair. You know, this whole battle with him and Caicedo, I think that's going to be coming to a close at some point. We know Caicedo's more talented, but it's just pinning up one against another. It's just nitpicking. You know, Emirates, I would leave with that game thinking, cool. But going further forward, what can you do towards the end of the season? You know, you still got Champions League. Can you work on that? Can you rest people before that game? I don't know what games are coming up for Arsenal, but it looks kind of favourable to me. I think they're in a bit of a cruise control position. Whereas now Chelsea, if they got, what I say is pressure for both sides today, is even if Chelsea got a draw, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for them. But it's about getting away from your Man Cities and whoever's in fifth and whoever's in sixth. And now it's back down to who's in a battle. I think Chelsea are in a bit of a sticky place because I just feel like, where are the goals coming from? You're not here to face your Southamptons and your Leicesters. When it comes up to some decent quality sides that got some sort of defensive resilience, it's like, where does it come from? If Palmer's going to be out with this potential hamstring injury, as I've read up as well, where's the creativity going to come from? It's weird because I feel like Chelsea do create. It's just that they just don't finish. Jackson's back needed more than ever. So I have no idea what the real solution is. All I know is 1-0 to the Arsenal. They brought it back to the 80s. They defended well, and that's that. Both teams were mid-crap, or if not, Chelsea were just worse. That's reality. So there you go. Well done to you lot. I'm not here to glaze anything. I'm not here to just say, oh, you know, Arsenal are back. Arsenal are scary. I think there's a long way to go for both sides. I just think there's a longer way for even Chelsea. Probably got to have to go and spend another £1 billion. But who knows? Make sure you smash the likes. Make sure you subscribe as well if you're new. Apologies if you thought you was going to get something absolutely amazing, you know, out of this, but you can't deny that as a fan. If you was a viewer of that, you wouldn't exactly be over the moon. But you still won in a bit.